Hello, this is issue number 16 of Paragon Publishing's Dreamcast Magazine. It hit the shelves on the 30th of November 2000. This particular issue is quite, well, not in really bad condition, but the cover is ripped, as you can see here, and it's got some blemishes here on the side. I thought this was one of the ones I had like maybe more than one copy of, but it's not, so I've got to make do with this one, so apologies for that. As you can see from the main cover, this is all about Unreal Tournament. It's got a little bit of Shenmue, a little bit of Quake 3 Arena. There's actually lots and lots of unreleased games and reviews in this particular issue, so let's dive in. Move that so you can see it properly. Okay, so as we always start with, we've got the contents page, and then we'll move into the second contents page. Okay, the news section. First bit of news here is that Driver 2 is coming to the Dreamcast. As we know now, it never did, but there was a lot of speculation at the time that the Reflections crime kind of caper game was going to be coming to the Dreamcast. These are all PlayStation 1 screens, incidentally, and it does say within the article itself that in the coming months that they would be getting screenshots of the Dreamcast version, which we never actually got. You can play Driver 2 using Dreamcast. It's one of the games that does run quite well actually on the Dreamcast, the PlayStation version. So moving on, we've got a preview here of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and the usual release schedules down here. The one thing I noticed here was one called Animated Batman Vehicle Adventures, which again didn't come to the Dreamcast. Moving on, big advert here for HMV. Okay, a little look here at, they did quite a few competitions with Dream Arena for Metropolis Street Racer. So one of the competitions was that you could win a car, which was this car here, the VX 220. The car they used in all the promotional shots and things for the game, which didn't actually have an engine in it. I'm reliably informed it was just a chassis, so they could tow it around and transport it, to different locations for photo shoots, etc. There's an article here about Charge and Blast and just further information about Sega increasing its market share to, it wanted to increase its market share to 25% of the global video games market. We all know how that went. Article down here about a film version of The House of the Dead in the works. That actually did come out sometime later. I think it was directed by Uwe Boll, and it's not very good by all accounts. But any film with him attached to it is always going to be questionable. Hope he doesn't see this video and start attacking me, because he's known to do that apparently. More shots here of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, which originally was intended to come to the Dreamcast, actually came out on the Xbox. I will put scans of these things on the Dreamcast Junkyard main blog page where this video will go up, so if you're watching that on YouTube, go and have a look at that. Here's an interesting game that never appeared as well. It's Woodpecker Racing, so there's some nice high-res shots here. I don't even think it came out on the PlayStation. I just think it was completely cancelled for whatever reason. And up in the top right hand corner there, you've got a little look at Roswell Conspiracies, based on the TV show that I've personally never seen, and another game which was cancelled. In the middle there's a little bit there about Phantasy Star Online, which at this point hadn't launched yet. Okay, we're carrying on with the unreleased stuff here with Commandos 2, which by all accounts was pretty much complete when it was cancelled for the Dreamcast, and still really waiting for it to be leaked. There's never really been anything online about this game coming out or what actually happened to it, so it's quite interesting to see these shots. Apparently these are from the Dreamcast version. Also a little section down here about Dream SNES, which is the disc that has all the ROMs that you can play on your Dreamcast, and I've got them, and it works quite well. Advert there for Worms World Party. Preview here of Surf Rocket Racer. It looks slightly different in these shots than it does in the actual final game, as you would imagine. A little bit down here about Tetris Online, which has just come back online if you visit or watch or read Dreamcast Live, which is another Dreamcast fan site, mainly about online games and getting online games back online if you know what I mean. So yeah, Tetris Online is now back online, and that's just a little article about Tetris back in the day. Got a little piece here about the Grinch. Then we've got US and Japanese news. Article on the top right about how the Dreamcast sales have gone through the roof after a $50 price drop. The main article here is about Sega supporting Limp Bizkit in one of their tours or something. It was the Mobile Assault Tour, and there are images online of Fred Durst signing a load of Dreamcasts, and I believe that is where they come from. So that's interesting. More information here about the big backlash that Sega faced across the United States when Jet Set Radio launched, to do with all the graffiti and that kind of thing. And just some information here about Princess Maker game, whatever that is, for the in Japan. More previews. Speed Levels Online, Disney's 102 Dalmatians, competition here for Looney Tunes Space Race. Another unreleased game, well, an unreleased PAL game. I know it came out in the US, 4x4 Evolution, and the Black and White Development Diary Part 5. Again, I will put scans of these up on the Dreamcast Junkyard so you can have a look at those if you so desire. More previews. Chicken Run, which is actually not bad as far as film tie-ins go. It's very stealth-based. It's actually quite good, to be honest. And Kiss Psycho Circus, which is one of the few kind of story-driven first-person shoot-em-ups on the Dreamcast. It's not amazingly good, but it's there if you want to give it a go. And then we're on to the cover story, which is Unreal Tournament. Interestingly, didn't have online multiplayer. The PAL version didn't anyway. I'm pretty sure the US version did. Just like with Daytona USA 2001 was online enabled in the US and Japan, but not here in the UK or in PAL territories. It is quite good in multiplayer, split screen, I will say that, and in single player, to be honest. But not the place to go if you're looking for online gaming on your Dreamcast. But yeah, that's the cover story, Unreal Tournament. Okay, the review section here is absolutely bursting. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 reviews. I mean, some multi-format magazines didn't have that many reviews in at this time, so it was looking bright for the Dreamcast at this point. First one is the PAL review, of the long-awaited PAL review of Shenmue, as it was known back then, Chapter 1 Yokosuka. And interestingly, they gave it 85% because they said it wasn't, it wasn't. I know Shenmue today in 2016, that's going to date this video, but in this day and age, it's kind of revered as this massively, we need Shenmue HD. Oh! But, back in the day, the game press weren't massively taken by it. Everyone was like, wow, the graphics are incredible, but it's a little bit boring if we're being truthful. And I kind of had the same opinion back in the day. My opinion's changed somewhat now because I've finished the game and 2. Well, no, not finished 2. I'm stuck in the same place, but that's a story for another video. But yeah, they only give it 85%. I don't know if you can see that in the bottom right-hand corner there, which would be controversial these days, I believe. Moving on, Quake 3 Arena. That gets 90%, so 5% more than Shenmue. Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. That gets 85%, so the same as Shenmue. Samba de Amigo. These are actually all the PAL reviews, because they may have been reviewed previously in the magazine on import, but now they're looking at the PAL versions. So that's why you've probably seen reviews of games that I've already covered in the last couple of videos. So this one got 92%. UEFA Dream Soccer, 91%, better than Shenmue. Moho, that's one of those games that goes for like £100 plus because it's rare, but it's shit. Anyway, 79%. Le Mans 24 Hours, great game, very graphically impressive, plays well as well. 91%. Worms World Party, 85%, exactly the same as Shenmue. So Shenmue and Worms World Party are on a level. Toy Story 2, not a bad game, but it's very PlayStation porty, you know what I mean. Sega GT, that gets 89%. And then we're moving on to Dino Crisis, again PlayStation port, 76%. Pod 2, that was the first online racing game for the Dreamcast, and it was followed by Speed Doubles Online, if I'm not mistaken. That gets 59%. It's not the best game, to be honest. KO the Kangaroo, decent inoffensive platformer, 71%. And Looney Tunes Space Race, which is a fabulous game in my opinion, 83%. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX gets 74%. So you can see there's a lot of reviews in this magazine. 76% for Jedi Power Battles, a game that I didn't really get very far in because I got extremely bored of it. But looking at these screens, you think you got a lot of variation in the levels, but yeah, I didn't get very far, to be honest. Disney's Dinosaur, 69%. And that's the end of the review section. Now we're into Interact. Let's move the magazine so you can see it a little bit better. Letters page. Reader reviews we've got Royal Rumble 94, Wacky Races 91, Hidden and Dangerous 90, and The House of the Dead 2 96%. Somebody likes House of the Dead 2. Little look at some websites that you can visit with your Dreamcast. I like looking at these because it's very kind of indicative of the time. So we've got film websites here. We've got like Little Nicky, Get Carter, the one with Stallone in it, and Rocky and Bullwinkle, which weirdly had Robert De Niro voicing one of the characters or something, or he was in it. Maybe he was the main baddie. I think he had an eye patch. I remember that. Comedy. I like the fact they've got UK Resistance in here, which was quite a popular Sega-related website at the time, and one of my inspirations actually for the Junkyard. Got some cheats here, some guides, reader questions, and then a full solutions guide to Jet Set Radio. Advert there for XS by Paco Rabanne. Bit of free advertising there. The directory, as you can see, gets bigger with every issue, as you would expect. And we've got DVD reviews here. We've got Gladiator, Mission Impossible 2, CD reviews, U2, Charlie's Angels, blah blah blah. This is a new section for this particular issue, Gearbox, where they have a look at some peripherals and give them ratings. So we've got you've got a fighting pad here, a joypad extender cable, a rumble pack, a mouse, a gun here with a pump action section, and a SCART lead, which gets 4 out of 5, weirdly. Stuff and Nonsense is all the crap that you could buy at the time. It's actually weird because they've got Robot Wars toys in here from the original series of Robot Wars in the UK, but the new series has just started and the robots don't look anything like this. They're so much more advanced. Charlie's Angels toys there. Bagpuss and the Clangers. I think they were having like a 70s TV blowout or something in this particular issue. Moving on, next month, Tony Hawk's 2 on sale 28th of December 2000. More adverts, and then the Dream Moment, which is beating the final boss in Quake 3 Arena. What I can tell just looking at that. And then there you go, last page you've got Pod 2, a game which was given 59% earlier in the magazine but actually dominates the back page. The power of advertising. So yeah, that is issue 16 of Dreamcast Magazine. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure I'll be back with another one soon.